Let's draw a car. Today we'll draw a Ferrari. Start by lightly drawing the outlines of each feature on the car. Because the car is man-made, the curves will all be beautifully smooth and the objects perfectly symmetrical and so on. In other words, to end up with a good car drawing, your initial construction lines need to be perfectly accurate or your car will look skew forever. So use the grid, a pantograph, or even trace the outlines to get perfect construction lines. What makes drawing cars tricky is the fact that the body is shiny. So you're not only seeing the color of the paint job, but also a reflection of whatever is around the car. These reflections will make areas that are supposed to be light, dark, and other areas that are supposed to be dark, light. There are also very few flat surfaces on a car. Each panel will have some or other curve in it to improve the car's aerodynamics. This means that each panel will naturally have shadings in it. It's these shadings combined with the shadings caused by the reflections that make drawing cars difficult. When you're drawing your car, start off by getting the basic shading caused by the shape of the panel correct first. See where it goes lighter and darker and by how much, and then shade those values in on your drawing. Ask yourself, what tonal value is this area on the reference photo, and then match it on your drawing. If you have trouble spotting tonal values, use a tonal chart to find the correct tonal value. Then, once you're happy you can see the shape of the panel, go ahead and work in the reflection on the panel. Darken using a pencil and lighten using an eraser. So at this point you can see how I've been developing the shape of the body, and I'm gradually adding the reflections in. Also notice that where there's a gap between two panels, then I use a thin outline to show this gap. In some areas like the grille at the front are very dark, so don't even try and find the details. Just look for the general shading, the overall tonal value changes in that area, shade them in, and then afterwards come back in and suggest some of the details by darkening up one or two areas or lightening one or two areas. Then you may find unusual areas, like at the light. Here there are a series of steps, so what you want to do is look for the pattern and suggest that pattern. If you look at my drawing, you'll see I haven't even tried to get all that detail in. Then there are transparent areas, like the headlight cover and the windows. To indicate these, use your eraser to lift out the reflection. This will send the objects below the reflection backwards. In the window areas you can see into the car, but if you look at the reference photo, you'll notice that you can actually just see a bunch of random shadings. You can't see the actual details. So for us that's drawing the car, it's actually a bargain because it means we don't have to draw any of those details. So what I do is try and spot the features on the inside of the car or that I know need to be there. For example, the seats, steering wheel and the dashboard. Then I'll try my best to suggest these features using small tonal value changes, but I won't go out of my way to draw any excessive detail in them. So here you can see how I've suggested the steering wheel just by lightening it up a little bit. I also want you to notice how I'm using different hardness pencils to get the various tonal values in the car. This ensures I never have to press hard, so that allows me to lift out any reflections or mistakes at any stage. So continue to shade in the side of the car as well as the roof. Again, notice how I first establish the shape of each panel and then work in the reflection. Once the reflections are in, can you see the paving and the buildings reflecting in the side of the car? This photo was taken at a shopping mall. Okay, let's move on to the wheels. In this area, an incredible amount of stuff is happening, so break the area up into individual pieces. You have the thread of the tires, the side wall of the tire, the spokes, the rim, and the brake system. You can see each of these because of the different tonal values between them. So start by establishing these basic tonal values. Don't worry about the details yet, just concentrate on showing the separation between each component because of the difference in tonal value. And once you have that separation established, then you can come back and start adding details into each individual component. Now we can finish off the drawing by adding the shadow cast by the car. The shadow is black underneath the car and quickly fades lighter away from it. And there you have it, a beautiful Ferrari. Now, if only I could hop inside and park it in my garage. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please like the video and leave me a comment below. Also, please subscribe for more tutorials like this.